I believe that at least 70% of your academic success comes from a solid study routine. A good set of learning habits and well-paced study sessions go a long way in helping you achieve academic success next year. Perfecting your study routine is probably the most important thing you can start doing right now, even before classes start. Organizing and managing your time are the two most crucial things you have to master to become a more mindful student. To build our perfect study routine, today we will keep two principles in mind. 1. Scheduling all of your coursework with an exception from Monday to Friday, and 2. Keeping your weekend free from any academic-related tasks. There are 3 main rules to create a perfect study routine. In most typical college schedules, your classes will probably take a morning or an afternoon, or the equivalent of 6 to 8 hours of classes divided in multiple chunks of time. This means that you should manage the remaining hours of the day to do most of your coursework, as well as taking enough time to take your meals, relax, and have the appropriate number of hours of sleep. In doing this, less is better. The best students know how to schedule daily small chunks of deeply focused work instead of cramming everything once a week or right before the exam. You should forget the typical idea stating that more time studying equals more memorization or comprehension. In fact, studying for an extended period of time without breaks may actually hurt your ability to learn your material. The goal here then is to schedule 1 to 3 study sessions per day in your calendar. Usually, each study session, and that means an interrupted stretch of time of focused work, should range from 20 minutes to 1 hour. Whether you study for 20, 40, or 60 minutes depends on a number of variables like your levels of energy, focus, your interest on the learning material, and even your comprehension of the subject. Harder topics may require a longer study session, while easier topics may only need a 20-minute revision time. Interesting topics or problem sets can probably be solved faster since you are more motivated to work through them than boring exercises. The secret is to understand that each session should range between 20 minutes and 1 hour. After a session is complete, you should take a break from 5 to 15 minutes, and after the break is over, you can proceed to a second study session, continuing the same subject or related to another course. Since we are trying to maximize your effort in less time, it's recommended that you do no more than 3 focused study sessions in a row. Our goal is to create a manageable and short study routine that can be repeated daily and not an overwhelming period of reading and problem solving that only happens once or twice a week. Although you should focus your efforts on small chunks of deep work during the week, it's a good idea to schedule a couple of hours per week as your buffer. You can use this to either consolidate past materials created during the week or to make up for the time you've lost due to some unforeseen event. An early morning or an evening during the weekend is a great time to place your buffer in your schedule, since it's probably a more flexible time for you, and since it's also the end of your weekly classes, and that means you can use the buffer for any of your courses. Remember that the goal is not to use your buffer, but you should schedule it anyway so you know it's there in case something goes wrong during the week. If you've been organized and were able to keep up with your schedule, then you've just earned a couple of hours of time for yourself. A good study routine can only be created and maintained with strict time management habits. And here I refer to time management as the act of allotting specific study-related tasks to specific slots of time, or in this case, your short study sessions. For instance, if you schedule a study session in your calendar from 2 to 3 p.m. and just plan to study for your European politics class, that's bad time management. When scheduling that event in your calendar, you should already know what specific tasks you should be covering during that hour. For instance, a good example of this would be planning to read from page 15 to page 30 for European politics and then answer 2 discussion questions. Another important point for strict time management is that you should consistently go through the list of tasks you have to complete on a certain day or week, evaluate them, and move them around if needed. Basically, the first thing you should be worried about is your own perception of the amount of work you have to go through. Organizing your study schedule in the correct way will give you freedom to spend the remaining time reading, playing video games, going out, or simply stay at home and watch TV. But if you want to make the most out of your time doing that, you can start watching documentaries with today's sponsor, CuriosityStream. CuriosityStream has thousands of documentaries in different categories and was created by the original founder of Discovery. Since I've been learning about dogs lately, the last documentary I watched was Man's First Friend, which talks about how dogs have shared their lives with us for the past 20,000 years and protected and guided us. As a special gift, you can use the promo code StudyCorner or click the link in the description box to have a free 30-day membership, which will give you more than enough time to watch Man's First Friend as well as many other documentaries in their list. CuriosityStream is also available for a ton of different devices, so you can keep learning everywhere. And after your free membership, it just costs $2.99 a month, and I think that's pretty cheap for almost unlimited learning opportunities. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!